So, you want to be a real estate investor, but where do you start? How do you know what information and sources to trust? That's where I come in. I'm Jonny Cattani, and this is the Investor Relations Real Estate Podcast. Hey guys, real quick, before we start, go to investwithcattani.com and download my free ebook, Is Commercial Real Estate Recession Proof? Now to today's show. What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Investor Relations Real Estate Podcast. I'm your host, Jonny Cattani, and I am joined today by Leslie Awasom. Leslie is Director of Operations and co-founder of XSITE Capital Investment, LLC. He manages the company operations, market and data analysis, cash flow and budget analysis. Leslie bought his first investment property in 2017 and transitioned to multifamily investing in 2019. Leslie and the XSITE Capital team host a rapidly growing multifamily-focused meetup in Maryland where they provide resources and add value to individuals interested in growing their wealth and changing their financial future. Leslie is a husband, father of two beautiful girls and a son, and loves to spend his spare time reading and flying drones. Leslie, welcome to the show.
Hello, Jonathan. Thank you so much for having me.
Great to have you. Very excited for the conversation. Excited you're willing to take a late Thursday night for us here. So a lot to talk about, a lot of good stuff to cover. Crazy world we're in right now, crazy market.
I know, exciting times, right?
It's fun. You know what? It's we're gonna see who's really serious about this industry and who can pivot. I think is what we're gonna see over the next probably 18 months.
I totally agree with you, Jonathan. I think it's in challenging times like this that strong companies are made. I do believe that going through challenges like this makes you better and it improves the process and just gets you ready for the moments when it's not as challenging as it is right now. So as difficult as it is, we're excited for the challenge and look forward to taking it on.
Absolutely. Likewise. I love that energy. But let's kind of rewind. Let's go back to the beginning here. We kind of alluded to it here. You bought your first investment property in 2017. Take us back a little before that, what you were doing and what caught your attention about real estate.
Oh, absolutely. So like most people, Jonathan, I was sold the American dream of going to college, getting a great job, and then saving money and retiring. You know, I'm an immigrant, so when I moved over to the US, land of opportunity, I came in with a lot of zeal and enthusiasm and went on and started working and chasing that American dream. You know, so got to the point where I had a career. I got done with college in 2008, actually, as luck would have it. And and I was hired as a nurse at Johns Hopkins Hospital. And a few months after starting, the crash of 2008 happened. And I remember I observed like one of the nurses, one of the most experienced nurses in my unit. She lost a significant amount of her retirement during that 2008 bubble crash. And just the look on her face gave me like really nightmares. At that moment, I kept asking myself, you know, I'm going to be like her. I get this job, work all hard, you know, and then get to the point and something like this can happen and wipe me out completely. Like this is criminal. There's something is not right, you know. So that frustration is kind of the similar stories that my partners had too as well. It's like it doesn't matter. At some point in life, in your professional career, you're going to be forced to make some changing decisions. So 2008, fast forward a few years later, during that time, I'm still questioning, still trying to figure out what to do. And the traditional path always is go get another degree, get more schooling, and which I did, got my graduate degree in anesthesia, got another great job, that high paying job. And then I got to that point where I could not imagine myself being stuck where I am, because sometimes in the professional world, there's a ceiling to your growth. I'm a growth-minded person. I'm somebody who always seeks to grow. And I felt like I was stuck. There's not so much growth that I could get from my career. So I started asking questions like, well, what else can I do? And fortunately enough, I came across a book by Robert Kiyosaki called Second Chance at Your Money and Your Life. that book, when I read that book, it completely changed my life because it explained to me some of the questions that I had about the 2008 crash. It really explained to me how the American financial system was, and it gave some suggestions, some guidance on how you could get out of that rat race, or how you could move forward and move yourself forward. So I just followed whatever it was that he recommended in that book, which was like get out, read more books on personal development, go out to networking events, find people that you could learn from and grow from and associate yourselves with them. And that's what I did with my partners, actually sought them out, tried to build relationships with them, and then bought the first investment property in 2017, single family BRR model. Then that worked out really great. And that's after that property, that's when I met my partners. And we decided to come together, focusing on multifamily real estate because it provided an opportunity for us to take an asset class that is not very known in the community that we work in the community that we're from, and to take that opportunity and go preach this gospel of multifamily investing to members of our community and get more people involved in it. So, and 2019, we founded XSITE Capital Investments, and it's been an amazing journey ever since. And I look forward to keep grinding on this journey.
Awesome. I love it. What a great story. And so often, so many careers can be traced back to some Robert Kiyosaki book, usually Rich Dad, Poor Dad. But yeah, he's kind of the godfather, if you will, for a lot of us. I think for our generation, for sure.
Absolutely.
So that's really cool. I
Yeah,
love
that guy has influenced so many lives. It's really amazing. I think it's the way he teaches the concept that he teaches. It really lights up the light bulb in your head. So yeah, so I'm really grateful that I came across one of his books.
Yeah, it's kind of a parable style, so you kind of like, associate with the characters, and but of course you're learning along the way.
Yeah.
So awesome. I love that so much. So you mentioned, kind of spreading the gospel in the community of multifamily. I love that. Did you invest in Maryland area as your first investment?
Yes. The first rental property was here in Maryland. So when I started, used to go out to a lot of networking events, a lot of meetups, joined a local REIA, like real estate association, and started taking classes in real estate investing. So then finally got the courage to go out and take down a property. And during that whole experience, I actually took like 2 weeks off of work to work on that property, to project manage that property. And it was like one of the best 2 weeks of my life, so, and just imagining that there's a possibility of me doing this every day, work that doesn't feel like work, work that you actually enjoy doing, and you see yourself being creative and creating something and making it look nice, and then seeing somebody moving in and appreciating it, so that whole process was just like a great experience for me. And I'm glad that I'm at least right now I'm on that journey where I'm able to do this more often and do it more like my daily habit, instead of being in the hospital all day.
Yeah, I don't blame you. And you got out just in time too, because as soon as COVID hit, man, that would have been shout out to all of our nurses and everyone. Did you go back?
No, I'm not out yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm still working, but less and less. I'm slowly going out. So I was there during COVID. I got to experience it. Very, very challenging time. But it was a good learning experience for me as well. But the great thing about the real estate is like the growth, the personal growth that I gain along the way, right? The mindset growth that I gain along the way. So when this whole COVID thing came, the scary, all the craziness that was going on, I wasn't as much as affected like the rest of that. I was more of an observatory role, really to observe, to see how the world is going crazy, how people going crazy in the hospital, and able to be some sort of support to some of my colleagues as well. So I'm so grateful for my real estate journey, for the other benefits that it's given me in life, and going through that COVID experience was one ways that actually revealed it to me.
Awesome. I love that. What a great attitude. And well, I appreciate then you grinding through all of that for all of us. I know that I have a lot of nurse friends and friends in the medical field, and I know it's a very challenging time. I mean, it was challenging for us who weren't having to deal with that. So I can only imagine being on the front lines. But let's kind of get into XSITE. So you guys, you did your first multifamily investing in 2019. Is that when XSITE was founded?
No,
On that investment?
XSITE was founded January 2nd of 2019. We invested as limited partners in November of 2019. Then our first property as a general partner was in July of 2020. But during that period, we kept grinding, kept working, kept pushing forward, kept doing whatever needs to get done
Nice.
to the company forward.
I love that. And what, where was your first investment?
It was here in Washington, D.C. It's a 49-unit Class A property off of Georgia Avenue.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Straight to the top. Washington, D.C., Class A. Okay. So let's talk about that. That is a very unique market for sure. I don't know. I think I've only ever talked to one person who's in that market. So talk about what that market's like and, you know, kind of the process for Class A there.
So Washington, D.C. is a great market. If you look at every single report, Washington, D.C. always features there at the top somewhere. It has been one of the most resilient markets throughout every cycle. Even in 2008, you barely saw any fluctuations in the Washington, D.C. market. But it got a little bit affected by COVID, and we bought this property right in the beginning of the pandemic. So it was an interesting time where people were moving away from the city to the suburbs. So initially, we struggled a little bit with the occupancy. And Washington, D.C. is one of those states that has very, very tenant-friendly laws. We had a couple of tenants that were just sitting in there and would not move out. So we had to deal with that as well. So, but it's a market that's growing for sure. A lot of jobs coming over there. Of course, the federal government is there as well. Amazon came across the corner as well. So there's a lot of development in the area. And this property came along, and we thought it was a great opportunity because we know the area, we're familiar with that area, we know the growth that's coming to the area. So we were excited to be part of it. And like I mentioned, pushed through some of the challenges in the beginning, but now the property is doing really well.
Awesome. I love that. And did you raise outside capital, or did you guys front it all yourself?
No, we raised outside capital. Our model really is building a community of investors, because when we discover multifamily investing, we realize that a lot of members of our community, that's a community of underrepresented minorities, a community of healthcare professionals, never even knew that this asset class existed. So our goal, our vision is to expose as many people to this asset class, to educate as many people to this asset class, and to provide opportunities for members of this community to invest as well. So we will, all of our deals, we reach out to as many people as possible to join us on that journey so that they could grow their wealth as well.
Awesome. I love that. That's so cool. And so you mentioned offline now that you guys primarily focus Southeast. So why the pivot from the Washington, D.C. market into that one?
No, Washington, D.C. it's a very, very competitive market. And it's growing. If we see a deal in the Washington, D.C. market, we're going to take it down. We also have other pockets here in the area, in the DMV area, in the Baltimore area, that we look for deals at. And again, specific areas that we know are growing because we're familiar with the area that we take deals down on. So our investment decisions are data-based, right? We look at the data, we look at the population that's growing in that area, we look at the job stability, we look at the income growth. So we look at all these factors when we select markets. And when we looked at those factors, these Sunbelt markets in the Southeast by far are like dominating in numbers for some of these data points that we looked at. We love the Southeast so much that one of our partners, Tenny, sold his house here in Maryland and moved his entire family to North Carolina.
Oh,
so
wow.
that Yeah, so he could be boots on the ground and be able to, he's a director of acquisitions and be able to interface with these brokers and find these deals. So again, it's just based on the data, based on the numbers. We see a lot of growth coming to this market, and there's still projected growth over the next 10 to 20 years in this market. So buying a deal in an area like that and managing the property well, doing great management and taking advantage of the market growth itself exposes your investors to a significant amount of return. So that's why we love this market.
Awesome. Yeah, makes perfect sense. And yeah, a lot of, like you mentioned, very data driven. I mean, obviously, you know, we have access to a ton of data, so it's nice to be able to go in and really have that to back up, you know, the thesis. But like you mentioned, the data for that area is incredible. And I'm even started looking at some self-storage in that area because, again, same thing, a lot of great data. So do you guys stick to Class A as well there, or you know, what kind of strategy do you have in those markets?
So we have Class C. We have one Class C deal in Columbia, South Carolina, but we're more focusing our efforts now on Class B and Class A properties moving forward. But we will look at Class Cs in some markets, and if it makes sense, if it's in a good area, we'll take it down as well.
Awesome. I love that. So, you know, not often do people go straight to Class A and even Class B. So I love that you guys went straight for that. What's kind of the theory behind that? You know, the B and A.
So it's all based
the heavy value add, I guess.
So it comes down to the numbers, right? And it comes down to the numbers. So we make that's what we use to make our decisions. We're not going to go for a value add deal just because it's value add that is producing lower returns. If we see an opportunity for a Class A deal that is underpriced in a market that we know that's growing, that we know it has less risk and it's still able to provide like Class C type returns to our investors, we're not going to turn it down because it's Class A. You know, so that's the philosophy we go behind it, and that's exactly what that Washington D.C. deal was. Because we're familiar with the area, we knew during that period there was a lot of fear in the market, you know, and those are when you see some of the greatest opportunities. So that's how we were able to get that property at a very good going in value. So we're excited that we're able to bring some of our investors on it as well.
Awesome. I love that. What are some of the reasons that Class B and even Class A are underpriced currently?
Right now, it's tough to find a Class B or Class A deal that is underpriced, or to find any deal that is underpriced for that matter. But not saying that it doesn't exist. Every situation is unique, especially right now with a lot of deals getting retraded. At least that's what we're hearing from the brokers with the debt situation. You might find an owner that is on a floating rate debt, and that is struggling with like the cash flows because the rates are floated up to like really high numbers. And someone that bought a deal maybe when the rates were like 2%, right? A floating rate debt without a cap, you know, there's now sitting at a rate of about 6 to 7%. So that definitely changes the numbers on that deal. So somebody like that might be motivated to exit at this point in time, and you might be able to get the deal at a good price. But just because there's so much liquidity and so much capital chasing deals right now, it's almost impossible to find an undervalued deal right now in this current market.
Gosh, that's a fact. Like I said, that's what has driven me towards development. So I totally get that. So, you know, when you're looking at a deal now, then what are some things you're looking at that you know, will catch your eye? Obviously, you mentioned hard to find undervalue. So what is it that you look at now that you know, you're willing to take down?
So we maintain our same standard. Our number one priority is usually our investors. We put our investors first to see what kind of returns or what kind of safety measures are in place for them on the deal. So we have our return metrics that we seek for our investors. If the deal is able to meet those return metrics with enough cushion with our conservative underwriting, we take it down. Needless to say, 99% of the deals are not even coming close right now.
Yeah.
But we're looking in other markets. We're looking around the area. So I'm spreading our wings a little bit, and we're looking. We know it's going to take a whole lot more work to find a deal that makes sense. But we've never been shy to put in the work. So we're just going to keep grinding, and it was going to come. We know that for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we mentioned in the beginning, right? This is going to be the time when that sort of, nose to the grindstone, really, being lean and nimble is going to be the most important. And, I think we're going to kind of shave off the excess. I think a lot of people have been able to kind of trip and 2x their deals, right? Just
Yeah.
based on
I agree.
and not to say they're bad operators by any means, right? But certainly there's, we've had a nice bull market, and that's certainly starting to shift. And so you mentioned that you're starting to look in other markets, and you're kind of the analysis guy, but you studied nursing. So what was it about analysis and numbers and all of that stuff that stuck out to you that really got you wanting to focus your efforts there?
So I've always been an analytical person. Actually, my initial major when I moved to the US was computer science.
Okay.
But that was in 2000, and that was when the dot-com crash happened. So
you just love catching things right as it crashes, huh?
My life in the US has been significantly influenced by crashes. I think this is the first crash that I feel like I'm ready for what's to come. So yeah, so I was studying computer science. That crash happened, and I was like, man, I can't go to school and not end up not having a job. So I switched majors. But I've always been an analytical person, and my career in anesthesia, it involves a lot of analysis, right? In anesthesia, we spend a lot of time analyzing, coming up with all kinds of scenarios that might go wrong when a patient comes in for surgery. We map out everything that might go wrong so that nothing goes wrong. So it's that same kind of so when I discovered multifamily investing, the whole aspect of looking at numbers, looking at data, and coming up with a story, that just connected with me. Like that was like music to my ears. Being able to look at a T12 over the years and be able to pickpocket and figure out, okay, this is something was wrong here, what's going on here, and figure out and then identify areas where you could move things around and make some kind of gains, that just fascinated me. So I love that part. And my initial partner, Tenny, was like, I don't even want to do anything with the numbers. So we had no choice. Somebody had to do the numbers. So it ended up being me. And I love this so much, and just went along with that journey. So but the other downside to the career, the analysis in the career that kind of transferred over to real estate is in healthcare, you analyze to everything that could go wrong so that something doesn't go wrong. And initially, when I transitioned, I found myself always looking for reasons why the deal is not working, instead of finding where the opportunities are. So it took a little bit of a mindset shift for me to be able to recognize, become aware of that mode of thinking, and focus more on being just objective instead of looking at the fault in everything. So it's been a lot of growth. It's been a lot of growth. So that's why I'm enjoying it so much.
I love it. That's so awesome. What a great perspective. And, obviously in one aspect, right, nursing, you still have to have that perspective. And then, in like you mentioned, more of a objective view on the other side. So with that, was there any one moment or any one deal where you kind of, the light bulb went off and you're like, okay, I'm looking at this wrong? Or was it just kind of happened over time as you were analyzing more and more deals?
It kind of happened over time as we were analyzing more and more deals, because a lot of times, okay, when you start analyzing these deals, you got to dig before the deal makes sense. So we analyze deals, nothing is penciling. Then finally a deal pencils. That's an off-market deal that we have. And I'm like, wait, something is wrong here. Where's the fault? So I got to call my partners, Dr. Julius Oni and Tenny Tolofari. I'm like, guys, listen, I think something is wrong with this deal. I think I'm missing something here, because this deal is penciling. It doesn't make any sense.
They're like, yeah, Leslie, that's what we want.
Exactly. And, finally, my partners, Dr. Oni and Tenny, were like, listen, the numbers work, man. You said numbers don't lie. So the numbers are not lying. Relax, So, and So it helps to have other members of the team that see things from a different perspective than you do. And my partners are like hard charging, go getters kind of guys, while I can be like the sit back analytic kind of guy in the background. So I'm really grateful for those guys. I'm really grateful that I get to go on this journey with them.
Awesome. I love that so much. That's a great story, and why it's so important to have complementary partners, right?
Yeah.
That you all bring a certain skill set to the table that's required in order to be effective and grow. So kind of along those lines, what does the future hold for you guys? What are, do you have a specific acquisition goal this year, or, what kind of goals have you set for yourselves?
Yeah, so our goals are usually big and audacious, and we set big audacious goals that push us to grow. Because I believe is that the purpose of a goal is to grow to become the person that is capable of achieving that goal. So that's how we set our goals. And for this year, we set out a goal to close on 4 deals, like about $100 million worth of deals. We've closed 1 deal so far, so we got 3 to go. So we got to keep grinding on this in this challenging market and push forward so we got 3 more deals to close before the end of the year.
We've got plenty of time, at least for now, but
Yeah.
man, so about how many deals are you guys analyzing before, one pencils for you right now?
Last year we were analyzing we analyzed reviewed about 100 deals.
No worries.
So we were reviewing about 100 deals, then on the road about 60, then having like 3 or 4 penciling. Right now we've gone over about since this quarter started, we've gone over about 120 deals that we've reviewed. Yeah, and nothing is penciling or even coming close. We actually had 1 deal where we're best and final on, but lost it to an all cash offer. Go figure. So
what?
Yeah.
For how much? What was the asking price? What about do you think they paid in cash?
$33 million.
What?
Yes. So that's the challenge now. There's a lot of liquid cash from smart money that is scooping up these deals.
Yeah. Is that an institution probably?
Yeah. Yeah. So because there's a lot of liquidity chasing yield, and multifamily is still giving some yield. So yeah. But so it's more challenging now. But the grateful thing is we've grown. Our team has grown. Our acquisition team has grown. So we have more people now reviewing a bunch of deals, like that machine going through and filtering through deals that might make sense. So we are very confident that we're going to have something soon that pencils. So we'll just keep digging.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you can do, right? Is keep plugging along. By no means do you want to step out on the sidelines right now.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I know we brought this up, but this is that time where we're really going to see who can weather the storm.
Yes.
And, certainly deal flow. Well, I guess deal flow is not slowing, but, the deals that make sense are slowing. But, I was talking to someone earlier, and, at some point there's going to be some distressed assets on the market. And that's when, operators like yourselves who are nimble and lean can really start to capitalize, because it's going to be a short window, right?
Yes.
Because there's going to be plenty of operators who can jump on them. And then,
Yes.
so.
Yeah.
So what predictions do you have? Any predictions for us? Pull out your fuzzy crystal ball.
The sun is going to shine tomorrow. No, but the prediction I'm going to make is no matter what happens, America is going to continue to grow. In difficult times like this, and I've been guilty of this, it's very easy to see the darkness and very easy to see what's going wrong and focus more on that. But one thing I've learned over the past few years is like human ingenuity always wins, right? We always find a way to get better. Like these transitionary periods have always happened in history. So no matter how bad it gets, right, it's going to get better on the other side. So if there's anybody that's listening to this might be the moment for you to get yourself ready, to prepare yourself. If you're not yet educated, use this to get that education and go in with the greatest optimism that things are going to get better, because that's one prediction that I can make. It might take, I don't know how long it's going to take, but it's going to be better on the other side for sure.
Gosh, I love that mindset so much. It's so true, right? And all this is a cycle, and we go in
Exactly.
cycles, and history shows us, and there's nothing to be scared of, I mean, we're not going to see '08, at least in the housing market, at least in my humble opinion. Not that I'm some expert by any means, but even the experts are saying that we're not going to see as detrimental as '08. So
yes. So again, and like a lot of these crises are when some of the greatest riches are made. And one thing I've learned by studying some people that have been successful during these times is the difference between them and the rest of the world is that they train their minds to see the opportunities and to always look forward and say it's gonna get better, because we can all get caught up in the sensationalism. And by looking at the news and, oh, the Dow is down, this is down, this person is losing, this crypto lost the money, this person real estate, and you feel like you're in a bubble of nothing going well at all. So it's just about maintaining a positive perspective and realize that we all, as a human race, we always find a way to get better. So and I think we're gonna find a way to get even better after this.
couldn't agree more. I love that so much. It's what, as cliche as it is, what doesn't kill you only makes you stronger. And this is going to be, I wasn't set up in '08. I'm a little bit younger. In '08, I was graduating high school, so it didn't really affect me, right? I didn't really understand it. Certainly a few years later, that's when I was starting to understand real estate as an investment, but I still missed out, right? I didn't invest in anything. And so now, potentially we'll have that opportunity. Who knows? Maybe everything will correct itself in 3 months and we're all sound crazy, but that's kind of how it goes. But as we wind down here, I want to give you a chance. We mentioned in the intro that you have an awesome meetup that's growing there. So talk to us about that.
Yeah, absolutely. One of our core missions is to preach the gospel of multifamily investing. So we have an educational platform where we invite each and every person that's looking to learn more on how means that they could grow themselves and grow their wealth. Join us every first Monday of the month. The name of our meetup is the Exciting Wall of Multifamily Investing. Again, it's the Exciting Wall of Multifamily Investing. We are available on Zoom and we always post on LinkedIn. You can also go on our website to find out more information, which is www.x as in xylophone, S as in Sam, ITE capital.com. That's xsitecapital.com. We look forward to interfacing with you. Again, you can connect with any one of us. We love talking to people, learning about you and your journey. So come be part of the community. Let's continue to grow together.
Awesome. I love that so much. Cool. Well, that takes us right into the final five, my last 5 questions for all of my guests. First question, what's the best advice you've gotten from a mentor?
The best advice I've gotten is take action. Take action. I was stuck in analysis paralysis, and a mentor said, just go take action. I don't care whatever you're doing, just go do something, do it. And I don't want to hear any analysis. And the more action I took, the more I realized that my analysis was not as right as I thought it was. And now my analysis was reigned by more fear than actual true analysis. So yeah,
fear will definitely hold you back for sure. So that mindset shift is probably the biggest thing that I hear for sure. What is it about your career that makes you feel like you're fulfilling your why?
Well, Jonathan, I get to wake up every day and talk to people. When I'm referring to a career, I'm talking about my career as a multifamily investor now. Get to wake up every day and talk to people and educate them on something that they never heard about and create opportunities for collaboration, for people to work together to provide a tremendous amount of value to society. And to have that ability to help somebody grow their wealth or to help somebody grow their minds to a level where they could see more possibility for themselves. For me, it's like I'm living my purpose. Like I mentioned to you in the beginning of this show, I'm a growth-minded person. I love to work with other people that are seeking to grow. I love to be able to contribute to the growth of somebody else. And I get to do that every day in XSITE Capital. So I can't think of anything better that I would enjoy doing. So I do feel like through XSITE Capital, I'm living my purpose.
I love that so much. I can just hear how passionate you are. It's so contagious. I love it. Yeah, absolutely. Favorite non-real estate or investment related book?
I'll have to say Code of the Extraordinary Mind by Vishen Lakhiani.
Okay. You said Code of the Extraordinary Mind?
Yes.
Fascinating. Okay.
Yeah.
They just break down.
It gives you a huge mindset shift. It makes you understand that what you think is reality is just it's just what has been given to you. That there can be more out there if you open your mind up more to see more. And there are certain examples over there that gave me like a huge mindset shift. The power of words, the power of our thoughts, the power of our actions, and how that influence, the power of our culture scape, like the environment that we grow in, on how we become the people that we are. And once you start challenging some of those stories, and once you start questioning some of those things, like it's like a whole new world opens up in front of you. And that book had a huge influence on me.
Awesome. I love that. That's great. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Geez, man, that's tempting. Maybe a superpower to find a good deal in this market.
Yeah, some foresight.
I would take that superpower right now,
I know it's so hard when you're just so anxious to do deals. You have so much energy and the market's just like, yeah, you got to wait though. And you're like, no.
I know. Yeah.
Cool. You kind of talked about the meetup group, but what's the best way for people to go to hold of you and learn more?
Yeah, the best way to get a hold of me or any one of my partners is through our website. Like I mentioned, www.xsitecapital.com. Right on our website, we have a sign up for you to sign up to join, be part of our community. We also have our contact information over there. You can reach out to any one of us. We love hearing from other people that are seeking to grow as well. So reach out to us. We're here and we look forward to meeting more people and growing together.
Absolutely. We will link that website in the show notes. Leslie, I cannot thank you enough. I know it's late over there. Thank you so much for all of your insight and your passion.
Jonathan, thank you so much for having me. It has been an amazing conversation, and wish you all the best with everything you're doing. Keep me updated on the development stuff.
Absolutely. Likewise. Thank you. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching today's episode. I hope you really enjoyed it. Listen, I know it's cliche and you hear it all the time, but please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you know when the next video is coming out. Even though this is technically a daily podcast, you know it's coming out the next day. We have a ton of content coming your way. So please like and subscribe. It helps a ton. Leave comments. Would love to know what you guys think. And we will see you on the next one. Thanks so much.